Just to give a viewpoint of the studio perspective of what's involved now. How has it changed in terms of studio operations? And I think Sean Romano from Deluxe is going to follow up with a little more detail on this. But
well, yeah, I mean, obviously there's the advent of digital has given us a lot more computing power, as Steve alluded to, but also gave us a lot of possibilities that weren't there before necessarily. On 35 millimeter, it cost quite a bit of money to do some foreign versioning. So there might be territories that you wouldn't go to, but now you would. We're up to, you know, in certain features, up to 230 plus versions of a movie that could hit within a 1 to 2 week span. You know, and it's the entire process to get there. Relating it back to the actual film days, you could have anywhere from 3,500 to 8,000 film prints that you'd have to make in a given time period. That could take up to 2-3 weeks to actually print out, get to theaters. Well, the time frames have shifted a lot since then, but also the delivery has shifted since then as well. We don't necessarily have to deliver 8,000 film prints to get on that many screens. You actually could deliver 3,000 prints, I use that term loosely, to a theater, and that one print would actually inhabit any screen that you need to inhabit. And I say deliver, but it's not just hard drive, we're also talking about electronic delivery as well. So in the electronic market, you know, that has shifted to where we're almost at 1,200 screens that we would deliver to on a normal basis. Even though we actually deliver to 2,000 screens, we only maybe show what is at 1,200 locations. So it really has changed the industry a lot from that standpoint. And it also is offered, as Tim alluded to, a lot of alternate type stuff that we haven't seen before. You know, different versions, Atmos, HFR, alternate light levels. And what the nice thing about that is we can put all of those onto one deliverable element, and that one deliverable element can go to a theater and can be widely used at that theater. So if you've got, you know, one auditorium that can do, you know, 14 or 7-foot Lamberts, you put that one in that auditorium. You got another auditorium that can only do 3.5 or 4-foot Lamberts. You have both of those options available to you with one delivery. So it really has, I think, changed quite a bit for us.
right now, you say, I think you mentioned 200 and some odd versions on some titles. And it seems like a lot, but I also assume that those are generated a lot quicker than you would to say conventional.
Yes,
film. So
definitely.
you can kind of do that as a push button. So
I wouldn't say push the button.
right, more or less. But the net effect is you're matching the content to the playback venue a lot better than it's ever been done.
Yeah, in fact, we had one movie that actually released in 2 aspect ratios, depending upon what your auditorium could actually show best to the audience.
So in that sense, digital has really accommodated a broader market and addressed the market much better.
Yeah, definitely. And then from the satellite model, or electronic delivery model, we actually get a little bit more time to get the content there. And actually we can do alternative stuff. We can target venues if we need to. So if you only want to send a G-rated version of a movie to a particular venue, you can do that. If you want to target the entire footprint of a territory, you can do that. But then also live events now become something that's a lot more possible with that content delivery network.
You mentioned satellites. Where are we with satellite in terms of relative, you know, how many hard drives versus how many, you know, that type of.
So we're about 2,000 locations here in the U.S. that deliver regularly for most feature films. And hard drives are about 1,800 hard drives on a wide release of a feature. So it's about, you know, 12. The wide release will go 2,000 locations, but only 1,200 will be available to the actual exhibitor, and then the other 1,800 are about hard drives.
What about other means other than satellite? You know, like VPNs and things like that. Is that
terrestrial cable is definitely something that is a viable option in certain territories. Hong Kong, Korea, other territories that maybe don't have a satellite footprint would also be good for terrestrial cable if they've got a good network infrastructure like New York and places like that where it's hard to get a satellite into a dense area like that.
Do you see a day coming when it's all going to be electronic? I mean, no hard drives or no physical?
I don't see a day where there's no hard drives, because we'll always have that as a backup. Obviously, it will just be there as an emergency, but then there's even some locations that won't have any electronic, footprint into them. I would assume the Amazon might be a little difficult with their but we can, the great thing is with digital cinema, the push button that you mentioned earlier, we can actually make versions for, dialects that we weren't making before.